So today I'm making some of my Intense Moisture Lip Butter. This lip butter contains about 20% beeswax and some other very hard waxes, cocoa butter being the butter, and then some kupuwasu and muramuro butters, both of them which are pretty hard. So the beauty of this lip balm is that it is not super soft. You can actually stick it in your pocket and it won't melt, but it means you have to work pretty fast when you're making it. So you can see how it's already kind of coagulating a little bit there on the sides, and I usually will warm my studio up when I'm making these balms so that the wax and the balm does not get too hard too fast, because these little babies are kind of tricky to pour into. They're a lot more complicated. You have to be a lot more careful. Instead of back in the old days when I could just pour into these little plastic things that had their own little template that you popped them into, and you could just over pour and make a mess and it was fine, but this is a little more tricky. So as you can see, we're getting a little of the wax already starting to harden up, so I'm going to move pretty quick here and I'll show you how I do it. I usually will continue to stir a little bit to get all the little melty parts in there, and I also have my water bath is still quite warm, so if I need to I will pop this back on the water bath. So here we go. Okay, now I've done a dozen of those, so you can see you still have some left in the pot. What I'm going to do is these are going to cool just a little bit, and what you'll find is when they cool, they tunnel way down. You get a tunnel right in the middle of the balm there. That also doesn't look very good. I like to take it up all the way to the top and try to make it look nice and smooth. So the way I do that is I wait for it to cool just a little bit, and then I'll come back. I'll reheat this a little bit because it's getting a little too hard in there. I'll reheat this a little bit, I'll come back and I'll top these off, and then I let them sit for 24 hours before I put the caps on. So that's my little trick, and we will show you in just a few minutes. Okay, these sat a little longer than I wanted them to, but you can see how they've tunneled down. So again, it's just an aesthetics thing. I like to have a nice smooth top. Here's one that I poured a little while ago. Didn't pour perfect, but that one's sitting over there for reject. Anyway, let's show you how it's done. And I'm actually going to change hands because I need my steady right hand. As a right-hander, it works better this way. So I'm just going to top these off very gently. You can see there's some air bubbles in there, but that'll all work itself out. Okay, I'm going to have to put this back on the warm water because it's getting a little too coagulated there. Okay, and here we go. And here is that nice smooth top that I like on those. And this one was the reject. It just didn't, the top wasn't right. So what I'll do is I'll take my heat gun and just melt that down a little bit. I got a little blurb of oil, but that's okay because the label will go right over the top. So then I'll put my caps and my labels on these, and this is what the finished product looks like. Well, I hope you get a chance to make your own lip balms in compostable tubes so we can keep these ugly plastic things out of the landfills. Have fun. See you next time.